You know that moment when you're lying awake at 3 a.m., wondering if this whole twin flame journey is supposed to be this intense? Well, get cozy and let's have an honest heart-to-heart about this burning question that keeps so many of us up at night. First of all, let me tell you, it's anything but simple. You see, there's this persistent whisper in the twin flame community that our paths are somehow destined to be marked by tragedy. Maybe you've felt it yourself. Those moments when the separation feels unbearable, when the triggers seem endless, or when it feels like the universe is throwing every possible obstacle your way. I get it. I really do. And honestly, sometimes it can feel like we're all starring in our own cosmic drama. But here's the thing, and lean in close, because this is important. What if we've been looking at this whole journey through the wrong lens? What if what appears as tragedy on the surface is actually something far more profound and purposeful? Today, we're going to cut through the mystical fog and get real about whether twin flame lives are inherently tragic or if there's something much more transformative at play. No sugarcoating, no spiritual bypassing, just raw, honest truth served with a side of hope and understanding. You know what's fascinating? I've noticed that while many of us share similar challenging experiences, there's always more to the story than meets the eye. It's like we're all part of this grand cosmic plan that sometimes feels like a tragedy, but might just be the most beautiful hero's journey ever written. So, are you ready to explore this together? Because I promise you, by the time we're done, you'll see your twin flame journey in a whole new light. And who knows, maybe what looks like tragedy today might just turn out to be the prologue to your greatest transformation yet. Let's dive in. You know how they say diamonds are formed under pressure? Well, twin flames are sort of like that. But instead of pressure, we're talking about a whole spiritual obstacle course designed by the universe itself. Let me paint you a picture of what's really going on behind those challenging circumstances that seem to follow twin flames around like persistent shadows, yeah. Picture this. Before you even took your first breath in this life, your soul was sitting in some cosmic conference room, carefully selecting experiences from a divine catalog. And guess what? Your soul wasn't going for the easy breezy package. Oh no, it was specifically picking out the tough stuff. Dysfunctional family dynamics, emotional hurdles, mental health challenges, and experiences that would make most people say, thanks, but no thanks. But here's where it gets interesting. These aren't random acts of universal cruelty. They're carefully chosen growth opportunities. Think of it as signing up for the most intense spiritual CrossFit program ever created. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every moment of confusion is actually a carefully placed stepping stone on your path to enlightenment. Let's be real here. When you look at the typical twin flame background, it reads like a therapist's case study collection. ADHD, autism spectrum traits, rejection sensitivity, complex PTSD, and often a childhood that would make Cinderella's stepmom look like Mother Teresa. But there's profound wisdom in this design. You see, these challenges aren't just obstacles. They're spiritual dumbbells. helping you build the emotional and spiritual muscles you'll need for your soul mission. It's like the universe is saying, I know this feels heavy right now, but trust me, you're going to need these muscles later. What makes this even more fascinating is how these challenges create a sort of spiritual immunity. Each difficulty you face is like getting a cosmic vaccination, strengthening your soul's resilience. As one of my acquaintances said so well, these wounds aren't just scars, they're my badges of honor in the spiritual realm. Wow. The magic lies in understanding that these challenging circumstances aren't random bad luck. They're precisely calibrated experiences designed to trigger profound transformation. It's like being enrolled in the universe's most elite personal development program, where every hardship is actually a hidden opportunity for exponential growth. Remember this. You didn't choose an easy path because your soul knew you weren't meant for easy. You're meant for extraordinary. Those childhood wounds, those mental health challenges, those moments of feeling utterly lost, they're all part of your soul's sophisticated plan to evolve into your highest self. So next time you feel overwhelmed by the intensity of your twin flame journey, remember, you're not breaking down, you're breaking through. Every challenge is actually a cosmic gift wrapped in disguise, waiting for you to unwrap it with awareness and courage. You're not just surviving these experiences, you're being sculpted by them into someone extraordinary. And that, my dear fellow travelers, is the beautiful mystery behind what might look like tragedy to the untrained eye. It's not about the pain. It's about the profound transformation that pain catalyzes when we have the courage to embrace it. Imagine standing in front of a mirror that doesn't just show your physical reflection, but reveals every hidden corner of your soul. Scary, right? Well, that's exactly what happens when you meet your twin flame. You see, this isn't your ordinary relationship mirror, where you occasionally catch glimpses of your patterns. No, this is like having a spiritual HD mirror that shows everything in 8K resolution. Every insecurity, every unhealed wound, every part of yourself you've tried to hide away in the dusty attics of your soul. The fascinating thing about this mirror effect is its perfect precision. It's almost like the universe has a divine sense of humor. Your twin flame will trigger exactly those wounds that need healing the most. If you have abandonment issues, watch how they'll somehow manage to touch that exact nerve. Struggling with self-worth, oh, they'll bring that right to the surface. It's like having a spiritual GPS that unerringly navigates to your most sensitive spots. But here's where the magic lies. This mirroring isn't meant to torture you. Think of it as spiritual acupuncture. It might sting a bit, but it's hitting exactly the right points for healing to occur. Every trigger, every moment of discomfort is actually a divine invitation to heal something within yourself. It's like the universe is saying, hey, look at this. This is where you need to focus your love and attention. Think of it this way. Your twin flame isn't just showing you what needs healing. They're offering you the most profound opportunity for transformation you'll ever experience. They're like a master key that unlocks all the rooms in your soul's house, even the ones you thought were permanently sealed. Remember, when the mirror feels too intense, when you feel like you can't handle another reflection, that's usually when you're on the verge of a breakthrough. It's like being in labor. The most intense contractions come right before the birth of something beautiful. So next time you feel triggered by your twin flame, take a deep breath and say, "Thank you. Thank you for showing me where I need to grow. Thank you for being brave enough to hold up this mirror. Thank you for loving me enough to help me see myself fully, even when it's uncomfortable." Because in the end, this mirror effect isn't about pointing out what's wrong with you. It's about helping you remember who you truly are. And that, dear soul, is the most precious gift your twin flame could ever give you. Picture this. You've just experienced the most profound connection of your life. And then, silence, distance. The infamous twin flame separation phase arrives like an uninvited guest who overstays their welcome. But hold on tight, because I'm about to share something that might just change how you see this whole separation thing. You know that feeling when you're in the middle of renovating your home? Everything's chaos, dust everywhere, furniture displaced, and you're wondering, why did I start this? That's exactly what twin flame separation feels like. It's spiritual renovation at its finest. Just like you can't build a new room without tearing down some walls first, you can't build your highest self without some demolition work. One of my acquaintances described this stage perfectly. It felt like someone had ripped my heart out and taken it to another continent. But looking back now, I realized that my heart needed to travel. It needed to learn how to beat on its own. Isn't that beautiful? And so true. The separation isn't about distance. It's about discovery. Here's the thing that most people miss about this phase. It's not a punishment, and it's definitely not a cosmic error. Think of it like spiritual boot camp. You know how athletes train separately to bring their best game to the team? That's exactly what's happening here. You're both in intensive soul training, upgrading your spiritual software, if you will. And just like any major update, sometimes you need to restart the system. The mystery of separation lies in its perfect timing. It's like the universe has this incredibly sophisticated GPS system that knows exactly when you need to turn inward. Sometimes it happens right after that magical first meeting. Sometimes it comes later, but it always comes at exactly the right moment for both souls' evolution. During separation, something magical happens beneath the surface. While you're missing them like crazy and maybe even questioning everything, your soul is actually doing some serious heavy lifting. It's like being in a spiritual cocoon. It might feel dark and confined, but honey, you're transforming in there. Every tear, every moment of longing, every "why isn't this working?" is actually part of your metamorphosis. And here's the real kicker. The separation is actually a connection in disguise. Think about it. When do you feel your twin flame the most intensely? Usually when they're not physically present. It's like the universe is teaching you about true soul connection, showing you that love transcends physical proximity. So next time separation feels too heavy, remember, you're not losing your twin flame, you're finding yourself. And that is the greatest love story of all. because when you finally reunite, whether in this lifetime or another, you'll both be carrying full cups, ready to overflow together rather than trying to fill each other's emptiness. Keep growing, keep glowing, keep going. The universe hasn't forgotten about your love story. It's just making sure you're both ready for the next chapter. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a phoenix, that magnificent creature that must burn completely to ashes before it can rise again in its most glorious form. That's exactly what the twin flame awakening process feels like. It's not just a gentle stirring from spiritual slumber, it's a full-blown resurrection of your soul. You know those moments when everything in your life seems to be falling apart, when your old identity is crumbling like a sandcastle in the tide. That's not destruction, that's divine reconstruction. I've witnessed twin flames go through this profound metamorphosis, and let me tell you, it's nothing short of miraculous. Think about it like this. You're like a computer running an outdated operating system. The twin flame connection is like downloading a massive spiritual upgrade, and this isn't your regular update. It's a complete system overhaul. Old programs start crashing. Goodbye, limiting beliefs. Unused files get deleted. See ya, toxic relationships. And suddenly you're running on a whole new frequency. One of women described it beautifully. It felt like I was being turned inside out, but in the most necessary way. Everything I thought I knew about myself was being questioned, but everything I discovered was infinitely more authentic. This is the magic of the twin flame awakening. It strips away every false layer until you're left with nothing but your pure, authentic self. The awakening isn't just about spiritual enlightenment, it's a full spectrum transformation. Suddenly, that soul-sucking job doesn't align anymore. Those friends who always drained your energy, they naturally fade away. That lifestyle that never really felt right, it transforms overnight. It's like your soul finally gets a megaphone and starts shouting, "This is who you really are." But here's the beautiful mystery that most people miss. This awakening isn't just about personal transformation. It's about collective evolution. Each twin flame who goes through this process becomes a beacon of light, illuminating the path for others. You're not just changing your own frequency, you're helping to raise the vibration of the entire planet. And the timing? Oh, it's perfect. Even when it feels like your life is in complete chaos, there's a divine orchestration happening behind the scenes. Every breakdown leads to a breakthrough. Every loss creates space for something more aligned. Every moment of confusion is actually clarity in disguise, waiting for you to shift your perspective. Remember this: when you feel like you're losing your mind, you're actually finding your soul. When everything familiar is falling away, you're actually coming home to yourself. This isn't just change, it's evolution in its most profound form. You're not going crazy, you're going sane in a world that's forgotten what true authenticity looks like. Keep going, keep growing, keep glowing. The universe didn't bring you this far to leave you here. Your awakening is not just for you. It's for every soul your light will touch along the way. And trust me, that light is about to become blindingly beautiful. So, is the life of a twin flame tragic? Only if you dwell on the problems and forget to look at the bigger picture. Sure, there is pain, there is struggle, there may be times when you want to curse the very concept of twin flames. But there is also growth and awakening, and a love so deep it can change the world. In the end, the twin flame journey is what you make of it. You can focus on the tragedy, or you can embrace the transformation. The choice, my dear space travelers, is yours. So which will it be, tragedy or triumph? I know who I'm rooting for.